feeling tonight, man? We got, listen. Words coming in, man, through the dash in the dark horse. I got a little mini computer in here, man. It says that we're nearing 2,300 live already. I'm not even there yet. I'm not even there yet, man. We got more than a couple other people here, man, that put out fluff content. Monday Night Raw tonight, man. Oh, my goodness. Is Triple H in the kitchen? Cooking? Holy shit, man. This guy's putting Bobby Flay to shame, bro. You know, they call Bobby Flay the grill master, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Triple H, he's throwing a couple of steaks on that grill, man, and he's cooking them to perfection. There's so much that happened tonight, man. I don't even know where to start. Where do I begin? Where do I begin, man? I listen. We'll talk about it when I get to the beer garden, man. I hope your beverages are cold, man. You better have 2 extra on tap. Best television that Triple H has done so far in the Paul Levesque era. I'm going to the beer garden. I'll meet you guys over there, man. I'm excited. I got my cold beverage. Hopefully you guys got yours. And when I walk through those doors on that Monday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for August 5th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Monday evenings, wherever you may be. We got a $100 super chat right out of the gate, man, before I even walk through the doors, man. My guy Senile is throwing 100 down at the bar, man. We're live, pal! This show blew by with the exception of the unneeded women's match. Love that we didn't get Supernatural Wyatts once the bell rang. That Wyatt song hits a little deeper now. Keep grinding away, JD. My guy, Senile, as always, thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody. 2,800 in here, man. Holy shit. I haven't even said anything yet, man. We are ready to roll. We're ready to rock and roll right here on Off the Script. Thank you guys for being here on your Monday nights, wherever you may be. Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin, man? We had so much that happened tonight that I'm exploding with thoughts in every which way on the WWE product, especially on Monday Night Raw. First of all, it was announced that Roman Reigns will be on Friday Night SmackDown. So just based off that, SmackDown is going to be 1,000 times better than it has been in the last 4 weeks. So the original Tribal Chief will be back on Friday, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I can't wait to see the next chapter in the Bloodline story, which is now headed towards a civil war. We'll talk about that on Friday. But Monday, we got a lot that happened tonight, man. Randy Orton. Let's start at the top. Randy Orton, he is a SmackDown superstar. He's been aiding Cody Rhodes against the Bloodline alongside Kevin Owens. He even made an appearance at SummerSlam in the main event to fend off the Tongans. Randy Orton was on Monday Night Raw tonight, and he laid down the challenge to the new World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther, who just won the championship thanks to Finn Balor at SummerSlam by defeating Damian Priest. A lot of people are going to have a problem. I already see it. I already hear it. With Randy Orton, a SmackDown superstar, moving over to Monday Night Raw to challenge for their world championship when, for weeks, he has been on SmackDown and eyeing the WWE championship. I think WWE laid out the explanation pretty well tonight. I know a lot of people, including me, were hoping for something from Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis or a collection of two GMs to come together to give us an explanation as to why that's happening. But let's be real, guys. At the end of the day, Randy Orton said that Triple H promised that this match was going to come back around, and now is the right time to do it. And believe it or not, I don't know if you guys want to put yourself in Randy Orton's shoes, but as soon as Gunther won the World Championship, if I'm Randy Orton, I don't know of a better time to show up on Monday night and cash in that fucking match that Triple H promised against Gunther than on Monday following SummerSlam, knowing that Gunther is the new World Heavyweight Champion. So if you guys hear from the other side, if you guys hear from the disgruntled AEW elitists about this not making sense, or if this happened on AEW, there'd be a shitstorm all over social media. I think that pretty much lays out the explanation for you, so don't mind those idiotic buffoons. So I'm excited for the match. I don't know what you guys think about it, but we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth when we get into the actual segment, break down what Gunther and Randy Orton did say to each other. But I'm excited for the match, and I can't think of a better main event match for Bash in Berlin than Randy Orton and Gunther. If you're complaining about this wrestling match taking place in 4 weeks, I think maybe you should stop watching pro wrestling. The Judgment Day. They got a whole new look. The Judgment Day looks a lot different. Actually, more of the same from the Judgment Day, but looking different at the same time. Liv Morgan and Carlito are now official members of the group. Carlito's been hanging around for a few weeks now. He was basically a work in progress for the Judgment Day, but Liv Morgan has replaced Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day, which I kind of figured was going to happen. She is getting quite comfortable there, standing next to and smooching all over Dominic Mysterio. Lucky man is that Dominic Mysterio. I think any adolescent teen or young male would love to be in the shoes of one Dominic Mysterio. Fuck winning world championships, man. He's got Liv Morgan hanging on his arm, so what more do you want? What more could you ask for? Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are now on their babyface storyline arc, each individually. And I'm excited to see where this goes, man. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, the Terror Twins, is what they were calling them tonight on Monday Night Raw. They took care of Judgment Day, at least for now. Damian Priest coming out full-on babyface, doing the whole babyface thing. Rhea Ripley was a babyface as soon as Dominic broke up with her at SummerSlam. She's going to be an unbelievable babyface, and when she wins that World Championship back, it is going to be tremendous for Rhea Ripley. But Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, they got a major problem coming their way going into Berlin. We'll talk about what I think is going to be the match for Dominic and Liv Morgan going into Bash at Berlin. Damian Priest, he's got Finn Balor staring him down, and that's going to culminate at Bad Blood, no doubt about it. So the Judgment Day story, man, it is something else, because if you guys look at the original Judgment Day, of Edge, Adam Copeland, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley does not exist anymore. All original members are out of the group. Adam Copeland's in AEW rehabbing a broken leg. Damian Priest was booted from the group as Finn Balor turned on him at SummerSlam. And Rhea Ripley had her heart broken by Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam. All the original members are now gone. So that is something for you guys there. Don't know if any of you were thinking about that specific note coming out of this show, but it's amazing how Judgment Day, they weren't really expected to last. And now all of a sudden, the last 2 years, they have dominated WWE television, and they seem to be as strong as ever. And I love it. The last 2 years, they've dominated Monday Night Raw, and the amount of storytelling coming out of this is tremendous. And if it helps Damian Priest get to where he needs to be, if it helps Rhea Ripley achieve what she needs to achieve, I mean, you can't look at the Judgment Day at all in any other way but successful. And it's unbelievable to see, man. So we'll talk about that. I love what Damian Priest did tonight. He wrestled JD McNuggets in a one-on-one match. They threw him to the wolves before Balor got his claws on Damian Priest. And Rhea Ripley came out for the save. But Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, they got a major problem going into Bash at Berlin. So we'll talk about that. Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed may have been the MVP of Monday Night Raw. Absolutely unbelievable star-making performance by Bronson Reed. I don't think anybody expected that on their bingo card coming out of SummerSlam. But Triple H woke up today. He texted Stephanie McMahon, good morning. Hey, honey, I'm going to make Bronson Reed into a star tonight. You want to add anything to this discussion? It's exactly what he did. Bronson Reed became a certified fucking beast for real tonight as he absolutely decimated Seth Rollins in a brutal attack that came out of nowhere. And the setup for it was fantastic. 6 tsunamis off the top rope, which led to Rollins spitting up blood in the middle of the ring. I guess we now know what Seth Rollins is doing at Bash in Berlin. I thought we were going to get a triple threat match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Clearly, that shit ain't happening. Seth Rollins is going to be hunting down Bronson Reed, and he's going to be riding that wave. He's going to be riding that tsunami going into Bash at Berlin. Love it. I don't think anybody expected that, but I'm glad it fucking happened. Star-making performance by Bronson Reed tonight. We'll talk about that as well. The Wyatt Sicks made their in-ring debut. They needed to hit a grand slam. I thought they did really, really good for a first time out. A lot of in-ring, not really a lot of theatrics outside the entrance and the smoke and all the bullshit that you usually see. Uncle Howdy sitting in Wyatt's chair, the rocking chair. I thought they passed the test with flying colors, man. So add the Wyatt Sicks to the tag team division because I think we may be looking at another solid act in the tag team division on top of what I'm already hearing with 2 other tag teams possibly joining the fray. We'll talk about that as well. And what else happened tonight? Odyssey Jones. Who could forget Odyssey Jones, man? Oh, my goodness. Odyssey Jones, after 2 years of doing nothing on the main roster, this man was finally given some creative, and it makes fucking sense. Odyssey Jones may be the newest member of the New Day. So we'll talk about that as well, man. This was the best television show, I'm talking specifically about Raw and SmackDown, since Triple H has taken over creative for WWE. This has been the best television show, front to back, that Triple H booked since he's taken over. Every single Raw you've seen, this is the best, consistent, most fluid, dynamic show that Triple H has given us since he's taken over WWE creative on both Raw and SmackDown. The cohesiveness, and I'll mention that word again, cohesive. The cohesiveness of this show, segment to segment, the way that they make sense of a lot of different things, the way that they call back to certain things that happened and bring it forward into whatever story that they are telling. You guys were not getting that 2-3 years ago with the old administration. And I'm not sitting here as a Triple H shill, but the work that's being done, and I'm not saying all television is great, because there are some weeks where the fucking show is painfully fucking boring. But the work that this administration has done to tie up loose ends, to make it exciting, and to make the 3-hour show that was Monday Night Raw feel like 2 hours, you got to give them fucking credit, man. Years ago, it was an absolute nightmare to sit through Monday Night Raw at 3 hours. And here we are, watching a 3-hour show, and it flew the fuck by. Giving us commercial free in the first hour certainly helps a lot, but 3 hours flew by because of the long-term storytelling that we're seeing in every fucking segment. Long-term booking is the reason for WWE's success. I don't want to hear another fucking word about it. This is exactly what brings people to watch the show on a weekly basis. The shit that you saw tonight is going to get people to tune in next week and the week after that and the week after that. Long-term storytelling is king. Long-term booking is where everybody should really be focused in on. Absolutely great show. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to go over these segments. I'm going to give my opinion as usual right here on tonight's OTS. I want to thank you guys very much for joining me here on Monday night. It is April 5th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. I want to thank you guys for all the support this past weekend, man. SummerSlam on Saturday night was one of the highest viewed podcasts that the channel has ever done. We are nearing 110,000 views, over 4,000 likes on the SummerSlam post Saturday night, man. That is incredible. The largest SummerSlam stream that I've ever done. And it's thanks to you guys, man. Thank you very much. By far and away, blew everybody else 5 times over out of the water, man. Thank you guys very much. It's unbelievable, the support that you guys give me. When something great happens, when something exciting happens, and we all want to share in it, you guys come right here, man. And I'm very proud of that. And I thank you guys for all the support. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on this stream, man. We got 800 likes and we got 3,600 people in here, man. There's no questions about it. 1,500 likes minimum. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. I want to see and I want to feel that energy. So get them on in and we'll hang out with our cold beverages at the end of the show. If you guys want to support, man, there are several ways to do that. Super chats is certainly one of them. Hitting that thumbs up is another one. Going to check out all the other content that you missed and watch it. It's another great way. Go do that. It's all on the homepage. Or if you guys want to buy some merch, we got a new shirt now available on bonfire.com. Link is down below. Or if you guys see the little shop that's underneath the video player right now. It should be right there for you. Easy access. Brand new shirt. Tuesday Night Titans. The first of its kind. The first for the Tuesday night show. And the first shirt in collaboration with the one and only Salamonster, who is the co-host alongside me on Tuesday night. So go get yours today. Bonfire.com. Tuesday Night Titans will be live tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Man, oh man, do we got a lot to talk about. Holy shit, man. Can't wait. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night, 8:30. And tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Chew, BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. All you guys got to do is use that $5 for shipping and handling. You guys get your Blue Chew for free, man. Use that promo code JD. All you got to do is pay the $5 in shipping, and you got some Blue Chew, courtesy of the podcast. Let's get into Monday Night Raw, man. We want to start at the top here, and Gunther comes out, and he's celebrating with the new World Heavyweight Championship around his shoulder. This was always the destination for Gunther. Always the destination. You guys should have already knew that coming on in, that this was a throne that was ready-made for him at the top of Monday Night Raw. Ludwig Kaiser stood middle of the ring. It was great to see Ludwig Kaiser back on Monday Night Raw. He was suffering from, I believe, a broken rib or broken ribs. He is back, and it's great to have him back as a part of Imperium, because I think the presence of Kaiser, the voice of Kaiser, adds a lot overall to the Gunther act. And WWE is allowing Kaiser to stand on his own as well and just not be a lackey for Gunther. I was thinking during this show, man, you know, it really made me think of how WWE has dropped the ball on Giovanni Vinci. Where is Vinci? Why did Vinci get cut from the group? And why did Vinci get moved over to SmackDown to not be used? I don't really get it. I don't really understand why WWE moved Vinci over, who's a tremendous athlete in his own right. I mean, he is fucking incredible. Pound for pound, he is absolutely... He reminds me of Cesaro. Honestly. He's that good. A lot smaller than Cesaro, but, I mean, just natural, pure ability. Very rare to find someone that good. He's over on SmackDown not doing a fucking thing. I don't really know what's going on. But I'd love to see him get some shine on his own as well. Kaiser's doing his thing on Monday. I don't know why Vinci can't be doing his thing on Friday night. I don't know why they even split him from Imperium anyway. I mean, Imperium, bell to bell, pound for pound, was probably the best tag team in ring in WWE, period. I don't know why they broke them up. I don't know. Anyway, Kaiser's in the middle of the ring, and he introduced Gunther very epically. Very epic. Is epically a word? I just made it a word. Fuck it. He said if people have been impressed, Gunther, people have been impressed with his IC title reign, just wait and see what I'm going to do as the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I will say this. I know a lot of people, I got very, very, very good friends, close friends of mine, that like Gunther, but are bored of the title reigns that we are currently seeing in WWE. Cody's going to hold the title for very long. Roman held the title for almost 4 years. Gunther held the Intercontinental title for 666 days. I don't think people want to see another 666-day reign from Gunther as the World Heavyweight Champion. But I will say this. Get ready to at least see Gunther hold the championship through WrestleMania. Because that's going to be an inevitability. Gunther's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion, I predict, going into SummerSlam next year, where I do think SummerSlam is going to be the destination for Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against John Cena as he chases number 17. And man, oh man, there is not a better fucking guy to chase number 17 against than Gunther, man. The all-American hero, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect against the fucking James Bond-looking motherfucking villain, badass final boss, the World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther. Book it. It's going to happen. He said he is above everybody in the ring. Facts. There's nothing that can catch me off guard. I am greatness personified. He said the legacy of the sport and his title belongs to him. All of a sudden, Randy Orton's theme played over the PA system. And then everybody jumped to their feet, man. Baltimore was loud all night. Baltimore was a great crowd. If you guys are coming to the stream and you were in attendance, man, good on you, man. Baltimore kicked ass tonight. Orton walked out. Cole did mention that he's been busy with the Bloodline on SmackDown lately. Orton took his time. People were singing his song. Gunther said he was wrong because Orton caught him off guard. Orton smiled. Orton then said that gold belt looks mighty damn fine over your shoulder. He says he's a good-looking champion, but he can't look past the fact that the only reason he's holding that title is because of him. You beat me at King of the Ring, but did you really beat me at King of the Ring? He said his shoulders weren't down, and everyone saw that. He said he ultimately respected the referee's decision, but Triple H knows that Gunther and Orton need a sequel. He says that's exactly why he's out there tonight. Orton touted how well he matches up against Gunther. He said today's fans deserve a modern-day Flair versus Steamboat. He told Gunther he considers himself a living legend. And Gunther is going to be a living legend. I don't know if I would actually call him a living legend right now, but he's certainly on his way to being a living legend. He considers himself a living legend, and that works for him great because he's made a career of killing legends. Gunther smiled. At least Gunther can take a nice rib, you know? He says he's going to walk out of Germany as the new World Heavyweight Champion, as the fans in Baltimore chanted, Randy, Randy. Gunther did not look flustered at all. He did not look angered or agitated. He said everything Orton said is true. He says if the voice in his head says he can beat him in Berlin, let me tell you something, man. The voices in your head are wrong. Gunther accepted the challenge for Bash in Berlin. They shook hands. Believe it or not, they shook hands. Cameron leaned in and caught Gunther telling Orton that nothing, this is away from the microphone, nothing, absolutely nothing catches me out of nowhere. Orton says, you know what? I've heard that one before, but I don't need to catch you out of nowhere because I want you to know that it's coming. And that's the way the segment came to an end. Then Randy Orton left the ring with Gunther smiling after Orton accepted the challenge, or he accepted Orton's challenge for Bash in Berlin World Heavyweight Championship match set. I know a lot of people are going to be upset, or at least question, why Randy Orton, a SmackDown superstar, is getting a World Heavyweight Championship match against Gunther on Monday Night Raw. I want you guys to understand that if you look up and down the Monday Night Raw roster, if you were coming out of SummerSlam last night and you crowned Gunther as the new World Heavyweight Champion, going onto that plane and thinking about how things are going to play out on Monday, who exactly would you have put in the ring with Gunther? Over the next 4 weeks, build a program with, and then put in the ring with Gunther at Bash in Berlin, which is going to be, you know, a B-level pay-per-view. It's not going to be a 7-match show like SummerSlam was. It's not going to be a 4-hour affair with a 3-hour pre-show. It's going to be one of those 2.5-hour shows that flies by quick, where WWE does 5 matches, they're in and out, and then they're back in the States on Monday. It's not going to be one big, elaborate fucking thing, Bash in Berlin. They're going to do what they got to do. They're going to hype their foreign presence, and they're going to be back home. So again, I ask, coming out of SummerSlam, hopping on the plane from Cleveland to Baltimore, who exactly would you put in the ring with Gunther that's currently sitting on the Monday Night Raw roster to make a main event for Bash in Berlin? Can't be Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's tied up with CM Punk. Drew McIntyre more than likely will be wrestling CM Punk at Bash in Berlin. Can't be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is mixing it up with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And then after tonight, he's got Bronson Reed looking at him. Can't be any one of those three. Can't be Bronson Reed either. Can't be Sheamus. He's got nothing to do with the World Championship. Can't be Sami Zayn. He's got nothing to do with the World Championship. Can't be Braun Breaker. Can't be Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov more than likely will be wrestling Braun Breaker. And WWE is not going to waste a title match on Dragunov when that is the ultimate goal for Gunther and Dragunov. Can't be Jey Uso. So who else could it be? Can't be Damian Priest. Can't be Finn Balor yet. They got something going on there. Balor needs to move on from Priest before he gets back at Gunther, which I'm sure he wants. I thought it was going to be a triple threat match with Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Gunther at Bash in Berlin. But WWE's got so many other stories going on right now that there legitimately is no one else for Gunther currently on the Monday Night Raw roster. So what they did is dip into their bag of, hey, man, that happened back in May. Let's tie up those loose ends because I don't want to just drop it. Bash in Berlin. Our guy Gunther's walking in as the champion, and a major match with Randy Orton taking place for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who can say no to that? Who can say no to that? Now I get it, because I'm right there with everybody. What is a SmackDown guy? What is Randy Orton doing coming over from Friday to jump ship on Monday? We basically told you that Triple H promised him a match, and there's no better time than right now with Gunther being the World Heavyweight Champion. There you go. So for all you fucking social media, AEW fucking geeks, you fucking neckbeard virgins who are looking for a way to fucking complain about what WWE does wrong instead of worrying about what your fucking show does wrong, Triple H basically told you that it was going to happen back at the King of the Ring. He addressed it the same night. So no matter what you're thinking about, oh man, this doesn't make sense, they basically gave you the reason as to why it's making the main event of Bash in Berlin. Plus, I just gave you everybody on the Monday Night Raw roster that can't challenge Gunther. So I ask you to challenge me on who else you think is better. There is nobody. On top of that, this solidifies Gunther's reign right off the bat by beating somebody like Randy Orton. Plus, Randy Orton losing is going to play into a bigger storyline that you guys probably aren't thinking about because you're too busy trying to pick apart why SmackDown, a Randy Orton SmackDown appearance, is happening on Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton, I would assume, is going to continue his duties on Friday night. He's not going to be working Raw specifically. He's a SmackDown contracted talent. I'm sure he is still going to be battling alongside Cody Rhodes in the next 4 weeks as he battles the bloodline because Roman Reigns is now back. Don't you think if Randy Orton continues to be beat down by helping Cody Rhodes, that they're going to sell his injuries going into Berlin, and that's going to be a reason why he fails at capturing the World Heavyweight Championship? So when he loses to Gunther and doesn't win the World Heavyweight Championship, he could go right back to SmackDown and blame everything that happened to him losing on Cody Rhodes, and then heel turn. Then we get the Viper. Then we get the real legend killer back who eyes the WWE Championship and takes his frustrations out on Cody Rhodes. Any more questions? Randy's not going to beat Gunther. We all know that. So the next logical question is, well, why isn't he going to beat Gunther? He's leaning too much into helping Cody Rhodes, who right now doesn't need Randy's assistance. Randy's doing it because Cody and Randy have a nice history together. But Randy, at the end of the day, is going to realize, the fuck am I doing helping this guy when all I want is the WWE Championship? Start thinking and stop complaining. I am okay with this. Plus, their first match was really fucking good. And that's a match that both guys had to go into wrestling 4 other matches in the King of the Ring tournament. Now you're going to get a fresh Gunther and a fresh Randy Orton. Imagine what they're going to do in round 2. I love it. It's going to be a great match, and it's absolutely a main event for something like Bash in Berlin, especially with Gunther walking into his homeland as the WWE champion, World Heavyweight champion. He'll win the WWE Championship, too, when the time is right. First hour was commercial-free. And they go over everything that happened at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns returned at SummerSlam. They hyped up the Wyatts and the Creeds in the main event. Jackie Redmond interviewed Sheamus, who was a part of the opening match on Monday Night Raw. Sheamus was backstage with Jackie Redmond. She asked him about facing a returning Ludwig Kaiser on Monday Night Raw. He said Kaiser wants to make a name for himself. He says he'll test out Kaiser's fragile ribs and then maybe after that put Pete Dunne on the shelf. So he walks out to the ring, and Kaiser Kaiser was already out there because Gunther was out there in the opening segment. So Kaiser said, fuck this shit. He met Sheamus in the aisleway, and they brawled right in the aisleway. Sheamus didn't even get a fucking entrance. So this match went about 11 minutes. This was really hard-hitting, just brutal stuff from these two guys, man. Every time Sheamus wrestles, man, it looks like he's in a fucking war. And good on Kaiser, man. Kaiser is slowly making a name for himself as that gritty, tough guy as well on Monday night. They brawled outside the ring before the match started. They got in the ring, and the bell rang. Sheamus was in control. Kaiser faked an injury. He faked some rib injuries on the outside, but he takes a cheap shot at Sheamus and gains the upper hand. Kaiser ran around the ring, went for a running drop kick. He actually missed it. He goes into the steel steps. Kaiser, he tried to get back into the ring. He then tries to do the 10 beats on Sheamus. Sheamus blocked it. Sheamus no-sold some chops, followed with a headbutt, some big right hands, double axe handles, a big corner clothesline, a backbreaker, Irish curse backbreaker, and a white noise. All this. He goes for cover. He gets a 2 count on Ludwig Kaiser. Sheamus applied a cloverleaf. Kaiser got a rope break. Kaiser tried to fight back, but Sheamus hits the proper 10 beats and a flying clothesline to the outside. All of a sudden, Pete Dunne emerges from the crowd out of nowhere with his signature shillelagh. He tried to go nail Sheamus with the shillelagh. Sheamus dodged, hit him with a knee strike. Kaiser caught Sheamus off guard with a running kick, but he kicked out. Sheamus then followed with a devastating knee strike, bro kick, and that was enough for the win. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus beats a returning Kaiser. Crowd popped big for Sheamus, and Pete Dunne looked on frustrated as Sheamus disappeared into the crowd after the match was over. Looks like we might get Sheamus versus Pete Dunne as well for Bash in Berlin. I would not be surprised if we get that. I think that'd be a solid undercard match. Maybe they can make it a Berlin street fight or something along those lines. I'm thinking about Sheamus long-term. I'm thinking about the Intercontinental Championship. I think this begins Sheamus's ascent through the fall, through the winter, through WrestleMania season, and on into WrestleMania itself. And the one thing that I have in the back of my mind for Sheamus is if you don't do it now, it's never going to get done. He's never won the Intercontinental Championship. And I said this weeks ago when the IC title was being teased and a Braun Breaker win was being teased. Weeks ago. I said, let's give the IC title eventually to Braun Breaker. And let's give Sheamus the ride all the way through WrestleMania season and have Braun Breaker defend the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus at WrestleMania, crowning Sheamus as the Intercontinental Champion, giving him that WrestleMania moment, and having him win the championship that he's never won. Because we all know the means to an end for Sheamus is the Intercontinental Championship. It's just the beginning of Braun Breaker's career. Seriously. Braun Breaker holding the Intercontinental Championship is going to be great for him. It is a stepping stone, the way the Intercontinental Championship should be used. Look at Gunther. He dropped the title to Sami Zayn. Now he's the World Heavyweight Champion. Imagine Braun Breaker holding the championship through WrestleMania season, dropping the title to Sheamus at WrestleMania, and then moving on to winning the World Heavyweight Championship by the end of 2025, early 2026. Because you know it's coming. I would not be shocked if Braun Breaker is the World Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw by 2026. But Sheamus and the IC title, that is your WrestleMania match. Start booking it and start planning ahead, because that's the only thing that I really want to see with that Intercontinental title. We got a Wyatt Sicks video package here. The original Wyatt group with Bray, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper that debuted 11 years ago. Also in Baltimore, which was coming full circle. A prophet was unleashed. And this was narrated by Bo Dallas, with him saying they'd find out the place in the path unwinding, and the reckoning is here. Run. Love how they made everything come full circle here on Monday Night Raw, with them making their in-ring debut on Raw, which was 11 years back when the Wyatts debuted in Baltimore. Damian Priest. We got a clip of Dominic turning on Rhea Ripley and Balor turning on Priest at SummerSlam. Very newsworthy SummerSlam, if you guys don't know by now. Damian Priest made his entrance, and he made a beeline to the ring, man. There was no fun and games here. He just fucking bolted to the ring. He was very angry, obviously, and called Balor to the ring to take this beating like a man. Now, if you guys missed SummerSlam, he is obviously angry at Finn Balor because Balor basically ruined his chances of beating Gunther and retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest had the match won. He had the razor's edge on Gunther. Gunther rolled to the ring. Priest made the cover. But Finn Balor, knowing that Gunther was right near the ropes, he put Gunther's boot on the rope, and Damian Priest eventually saw what had happened on the instant replays. He looked up at the big screen in the building at Cleveland Brown Stadium and saw that his good friend Balor had fucked him over. And he made more of an attempt to choke out Balor than beat Gunther, which Gunther took advantage of and choked him out. And Gunther won the World Heavyweight Championship. He asked how he went from being the prince to a backstabbing scumbag to a coward. He told Balor he knows where he's from, and he knows most of his life he's been on his own. And this has been documented with Damian Priest. I have not watched his documentary yet, but I'm hearing that it's very good. He said the Judgment Day gave him the feeling that he belonged somewhere. He said at the premiere of his documentary, he heard people tell him what they meant to him. He says he looks around, and tonight, I hear you, I see you. He realizes his family got a whole lot bigger. Let me introduce you to my new family. And he points out to everybody in the crowd, and everybody's cheering him on. Balor shows up, but on the big screen. He's not even out there. Shows up on the big screen. He's in a darkened hallway. It's all black and all purple, smoke-filled. Balor said he took the title from all of them, and he made him feel like he let his family down. He told Balor that when he was suffering, he should know he is the reason for his pain. He threw down the microphone and obviously told Balor to come on out there. Balor, like I said, appeared on the big screen and said that Priest brought this all on himself. Balor said he betrayed the Judgment Day, that Damian Priest betrayed the Judgment Day. He says they were supposed to be a team without a leader, all equals. But then you, Priest, became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and all that changed. He says he almost became a champion a year ago, and he referenced his Seth Rollins match last year at SummerSlam. He said after, or Money in the Bank, I think it was. I think it was Money in the Bank. He said after the show, in the car, Priest told him it was time to man up in an attempt to console him. He said he waited a year, but he screwed him and he screwed his family. He says he's just a loser now from the streets, and he's not going to fight him. You know who is going to fight you? McDonagh. JD will fight you. But he's going to wait until he feels safe and comfortable. Until you've almost forgotten about me. That's when you'll see me. He says he'll be there to stab him in the back again, again, and again. And so will everybody else. And then the camera pans backwards, and you see the new Judgment Day, which is kind of like the old Judgment Day, but just added Liv Morgan. Balor was joined by Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, and JD McFish. This is the new Judgment Day. I thought this was first of all, Damian Priest promo was very good. I love the fact that when Damian Priest gets angry, you start to hear that Bronx come out in him. Love it. Very straightforward. He didn't mess up. He carried himself very well in his first major babyface appearance. Now that it's official, I think everybody's behind him. And I thought he cut a great promo. Balor also cut a great promo. But at the same time, I love the fact that they made several callbacks here. One, they mentioned that Judgment Day months ago said that they would operate without a true leader and that everybody was equals and that they all had each other's back. Clearly, that went out the window because for weeks and weeks and weeks, Damian Priest kind of presented himself as the leader, kind of putting everybody down. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back at SummerSlam when he basically threw it in Balor's face and kind of blamed Balor for what Dominic did with Liv. Did you know about this? It's not really something an equal would do to a friend who considers him an equal. So basically, you saw everything unraveling right before our very eyes, and that basically was all broken at SummerSlam. No leaders. Rhea was also operating as a leader as well. She was ordering people around. But who's going to betray or deny Rhea Ripley? When Rhea says something, you're going to go out there and fucking do it. You're going to go out there and listen. So both of them, as far as Balor is concerned, had this all coming to them. And they pulled the trigger at SummerSlam. And I love the fact that Balor made a callback to Money in the Bank last year when he wrestled Seth Rollins. He blamed that on Damian Priest. He says he should have been the world's heavyweight champion, but I'm not. It's thanks to you. And ever since you won the championship, you changed. You betrayed us. I didn't betray you. You had this shit coming. Just great stuff back and forth between Balor and Priest. This will probably result in a match between Priest and Balor at Bad Blood. Absolutely. It's not going to be inside Hell in a Cell, but I believe it will be a one-on-one match. Priest and Balor at Bad Blood, no doubt about it. Kind of fits the bill with the name of the show, too. Adam Pearce, he was on the phone with somebody, might have been Nick Aldis, discussing Gunther and Orton, happening at Bash in Berlin. In walks Bronson Reed, big Bronson Reed. Reed says, listen, I beat Sheamus last week, yet he got a match tonight, and I don't. Why? Pearce says he understood his frustration, but the match between Sheamus and Kaiser was scheduled already. Reed says, all right, I see what's going on here. I see if I want to get something and I want to get to the top, I'm basically going to have to create my own path. And he walks away. Nobody thought anything of it because it's fucking Bronson Reed. He's been relegated to the mid-card ever since he's gotten called up to the main roster. But he told everybody that he's going to carve his own path to the top. Nobody knew what that meant. We certainly know what the fuck he meant when he did what he did tonight. He certainly got to the top. And it was fucking glorious. It was fantastic. Lyra Valkyria, man. Oh, man, let me tell you something, man. You know, Lyra, no matter how many times we make fun of Lyra, man, Lyra is an attractive lady. Throwing it out there. I might have a thing for Lyra. The Jesse, I got birds dipping their fucking beaks in glassware, man. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Holy shit, man. How many fucking times? How many times
I don't even know why I come here.
I don't know why you are even here either, motherfucker. I don't believe it. It's like they never end. It might be the same fucking birds every Monday, bro. I don't know. There may be a nest somewhere up in the venue, man. I don't know. You got to go check it out. Who the fuck knows what's laying up there? Lyra. She went one-on-one with Shayna Baszler. Match ended in 3 minutes. I'm glad this only went 3 minutes. Lyra and her theme music, man, slowly starting to get over. Lyra's theme music is going in conjunction with everybody doing woo to the beat of her theme music. If you guys picked up on that. Lyra defeated Shayna Baszler in 3 minutes. Shayna's out there with Sonya Deville and Zoe Stark, this charisma vacuum of a group of ladies. Lyra fended off some interference and hit Baszler with her finish, but Deville and Zoe broke up the cover for a DQ. I know. Listen, you guys wanted a Mr. Perfect Bret Hart SummerSlam Classic between Lyra and Shayna, man. I'm sorry to disappoint you. There's not much I can say in only 2 minutes, man. What the fuck? What type of story do you want me to fucking relate to you, man, and narrate in a match that went 2 minutes? But Lyra, man, listen. Everybody got to see Lyra, man. Everybody loves Lyra, right? That was the end of the first hour. And they really gave you a banger first hour, and then they ended on a sour note with Bird Girl and Shayna Baszler. There was a pre-tape promo. I love these pre-tape backstage promos, man. These are really good. They did one with Damian Priest here tonight. They did one with the Final Testament. Karrion Kross, man. Karrion Kross is a great talker. I think you guys should be aware of that by now. Vignette aired of Karrion Kross with the Final Testament saying TikTok, saying the Authors of Pain will put an end to the team that has stood the test of time. He said, all things must come to an end. He said, things didn't have to go this way for Xavier Woods, though. He says he's been too afraid to become his own man. He said, history will see Woods as just a man standing next to the man. He said he gave him opportunity after opportunity. Certainly more opportunities than I've been given, he said. I don't know where this was going after this promo, but he said, and that should be done, or something, the Final Testament. And that should be written, the Final Testament, or whatever the fuck he says. I thought this was a great promo. But I was thinking that Xavier Woods, I think it was last week, it might have been something that he did, something body language-wise with Xavier Woods that kind of gave the impression that he was maybe getting frustrated with Kofi Kingston. I don't know what is going to happen here, but we saw possibly a glimpse of what could be happening with Xavier Woods. We'll get to it when we get to it, but I think Xavier Woods may be on the precipice, maybe on the cusp of turning heel. I don't know if that's going to benefit him, but I think Xavier Woods going out on his own could be a very good thing for Xavier Woods. CM Punk. They showed him walking backstage. We will be hearing from Mr. Phil Brooks in just a little bit. But before that, we got Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile. They're backstage. She asked to speak to Ivy alone because the Creeds were there, and she shooed away the Creeds. She asked where she's been. She said the Creeds have been viciously attacking Otis and Akira Tozawa. Ivy said the boys are just passionate, and they have a switch that goes off. It's how they got this far. Gable interrupted and told Ivy that Maxine has nothing to offer her. He told Maxine they can keep the name because his new group has a new name. He reiterated to Ivy, we don't need you. All right. Here I am. I'm thinking Gable's going to take the Alpha Academy name, man. He's fucking, he burned the Alpha Academy down to the ground, man. You don't want it. He don't want it no more. He's got a new name. New name for his new boys. Hour 2. CM Punk. He makes his ring entrance. He comes out, signing autographs, gets a big pop. Baltimore loves CM Punk. He said, let me get these. Actually, what did he say? He let the emotions get the best of him on Saturday, which is true. He lost. He recognized that he lost, and he owned up the fact that he lost. Why am I smiling? Why am I so happy, though? Well, I'll get to that in a minute. He said he congratulated a friend, or he wanted to congratulate a friend of his in UFC for winning last weekend. He says, I love watching hard work pay off for good people. He says he hasn't been to Baltimore in over 10 years. He said it feeds the ego when 10,000 people are screaming his name at him. Looks like this is becoming a thing, man, a common theme with CM Punk. He wants to get the cheap Mick Foley pop of everybody chanting his name after he says, I love when people chant my name. He didn't really have to do that. Now it's just kind of becoming a forced thing. I don't know why. Much better than last week in Minnesota, though, I'll tell you that. He said SummerSlam was not a guarantee, not was appearing in Baltimore tonight. He said every time he gets knocked down, he gets right back up. He said some people in the company absolutely hate him because he doesn't stay down. He says he's proud of himself for one of the first times in my life because they said he'd be out 9 months and he was ready after 5. Looks like CM Punk's got that John Cena recuperation power. That regeneration power. Remember when John Cena was supposed to be out for 9 months, he came back in 2? He said Drew lied to him to make himself feel good, or lied about him and to make himself feel good. He says he's back, and his road started at SummerSlam. He said some people's road to WrestleMania starts in January. His started at SummerSlam. He asked where he'd be if not for the fans. He said the packed house of beautiful people deserves less time of him talking and more time of him fighting. He called Drew McIntyre to the ring. Seth's music played, and Punk yelled out, son of a ... away from the microphone. Fill in the blank. He was obviously upset that Rollins interrupted him. Seth Rollins walked out. He looked a little bit more serious than he did at SummerSlam. He came out looking like a flamboyant Sabu. On Saturday night, he came out there looking a little bit more serious. He had this black leather outfit on. Fans were singing his song. He took his jacket off at ringside and then said, you're in a good mood. Well, so am I. He said after 10 long years, it's finally his time to put CM Punk in the dirt. Everybody wants to put CM Punk in the ground, man. I don't know if that's going to happen. Jack Perry wants to put him in the ground. Tony Khan wants to put him in the ground. The Elite wants to put him in the ground. Punk, McIntyre, fucking Rollins. I mean, holy shit, man. Drew walked out, and he came out through the crowd. He sees these two arguing. Guys, what's with all the negativity? He says it's time to celebrate because he pinned Punk 1, 2, 3. He says he wants to talk to Punk about his favorite topic, CM Punk. He said Punk proved that he's still got it. Says he's no longer the best in the world, though. I am. Hey, man, listen. Drew McIntyre kind of put over Punk. Hey, listen, man. You're 45 years old, but I'll tell you what, man. You still got it. Still got it. Drew held up his wrist. Said he's the best in the world. Why? Because I have the bracelet. What is he, fucking holding the Infinity Stones? I mean, what the fuck? Like, what is it with this fucking bracelet? I got the bracelet. I have the power. It's a fucking 5-cent bracelet with AJ and Larry's name on it. This whole fucking storyline revolves around this goddamn bracelet. He insulted his dog. He insulted Punk's wife. Punk just filled with rage now, leaves the ring, leaves Rollins, jumps the barricade, and runs into the crowd, up the stairs, and chases Drew McIntyre. So, all of a sudden, Bronson Reed showed up in the ring, out of nowhere. Absolutely blasted Seth Rollins in the ring. Rollins tried to attack. He tried to rake Bronson Reed's eyes, tried to kick him in the gut. Reed came back and delivered an absolutely sickening Death Valley driver and 2 huge back sentons. Reed then splashed him with a tsunami off the top. All right, here I am thinking, all right, 1 tsunami, it's over. I don't even want to be hit with 1 tsunami. Never mind what Seth Rollins got fucking hit with tonight. He goes right up to the top rope again, delivers a 2nd tsunami. Officials at this point come out to check on Seth because 1 tsunami's bad enough. 2? So officials came out to check. They tried to usher Bronson Reed out of the ringside area. This guy turns right back around, gets right back into the ring, and goes up to the top and delivers a 3rd tsunami. 3 tsunamis off the top rope. He goes back up again and delivers a 4th tsunami. This time, Baltimore is chanting one more time. Baltimore, I guess, were sick of singing Seth Rollins' theme song. They want to ride that tsunami wave instead. Maddox checked on Seth. At this point, was bleeding through his mouth. Reed set up another tsunami. It was at least 6 tsunamis by the end of all of this attack. I think it was 6. I counted 6. I don't know what you got. I counted 6 tsunamis. The officials rolled Seth Rollins out of the way. What the hell happened to you? Yells Michael Cole. McAfee called Bronson Reed a wrecking ball of flesh. 6 tsunamis. Rollins was legitimately spitting up blood in the ring. This was not on anybody's to-do list on Monday Night Raw. This was not on anybody's bingo card. Hey, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to make Bronson Reed into a star. It's exactly what they did tonight. Coming out of SummerSlam, I thought we were headed towards a triple threat match between Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Just based off the outcome of what we saw at SummerSlam between Punk and McIntyre. But clearly, they are taking Rollins out of the equation. They're focusing on Punk and McIntyre one-on-one. And Rollins is going to have his hands full with Bronson Reed. Now, I don't know if you guys remember. I vividly remember. I could be wrong. Someone correct me. If Rollins was not injured going into the Elimination Chamber, I have a feeling, or at least I remember, WWE was building Bronson Reed up for a Seth Rollins match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Elimination Chamber, being that Bronson Reed is from Australia. They wanted to give him a hometown moment, just like they did Rhea Ripley. I remember that was originally the plan, but Rollins was still recovering, and he was not going to wrestle on the road to WrestleMania because they needed him in one, at least as close to as good to go for WrestleMania, because they didn't want to risk it, because they were planning the tag team match with Cody and Rollins against Rock and Roman. But I know I remember they were building to Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins, at least to give him that bridge between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Now we're getting it going into Bash at Berlin. And I'm glad it didn't take place then. And I'm certainly glad it's happening now. Bronson Reed has been the one guy on this roster. There are others that have come before him. Rollins has been very selfless. Bronson Reed has been a selfless individual. Bronson Reed has waited and waited and waited and waited for Triple H to give him the green light. Bronson Reed has waited for months for an opportunity. But in the meantime, Triple H has been giving him, hey, you know what, man? I need you to put this guy over. I'm going to need you to put Sami over. I'm going to need you to put Gable over. I'm going to need you to put Gunther over. I'm going to need you to put Sheamus over. Bronson Reed's been putting everybody else over, and there's no real direction for Bronson Reed. He's gone after the Intercontinental Championship a couple times. Nothing to show for it. And now here we are in a segment that legitimately happened 20 minutes before this attack. Went up to Adam Pearce, did Bronson Reed, and said, what do I got to do around here? I beat Sheamus last week, and yet Sheamus has a match, and I don't. Why? It's got a proper gripe. I would have complained too. Adam Pearce said, listen, the match was already made. I don't know what to fucking tell you. So Bronson Reed, like a typical fucking savage, all right, that's how you want to treat me? I guess I'm going to have to find my own way to the top because you won't help me. What better way than to fucking brutally attack Seth Rollins and leave him spitting out blood after 6 tsunamis? You know, there's a lot of comparisons with Bronson Reed, always the next coming of Bam Bam Bigelow. He's got a lot of Bam Bam Bigelow influence. And Bam Bam was one of the greatest big men of all time. Bronson Reed's got a lot of Vader in him. Vader's one of the best, if not the best big man of all time. For his size. Bronson Reed exhibits a lot of qualities from both Big Van Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow. He's very good in the ring. Some of the shit that he does in the ring, you don't believe a 380-pound Bronson Reed should be doing. But here he is. And he's the guy putting everybody else over? This was one of the most savage attacks, I think, that we've seen in years on Monday Night Raw. This was legitimately, when Bronson Reed retires, when Bronson Reed says, you know what, I'm done becoming a professional wrestler. I'm done professional wrestling. And he goes on to whatever his life takes him next. He's going to look back at this moment and say, this was my star-making moment. August 5th, 2024, Monday Night Raw, the night I tsunami'd Seth Rollins 6 times and left him spitting up blood in the middle of the ring. What is my moment? What is my crowning moment? What is my star-making moment? What is the moment it's going to be? The moment people look back on and say, you know what? That's the start of his fucking run right there. This was it for him. This was basically, I don't know, I'm terrible at short-term thinking here, but I mean, the only thing I could possibly think of right now, because we just really seen it kind of done again or rehashed again, that this was basically his Mark Henry moment. This was basically his salmon jacket attacking John Cena moment. Honestly. That was it. This is his star-making moment. This attack was fucking so beautifully done. I don't have any other words to really express to you how great this came off. And I'm a big Bronson Reed guy, no pun intended. Big Bronson Reed. I'm a big Reed guy. I was a Reed guy in NXT. I saw Triple H get behind him, full steam ahead, gave him the North American Championship. I felt so fucking bad for Bronson Reed, who still, I believe, at the time was the North American champion, or he might have lost it to Johnny Gargano at that point. I don't really remember, but he made those dark show appearances, and he wrestled quite a few times, 3 or 4 times on dark matches, right before SmackDown, right before Raw, and they ended up firing him. Triple H just gave him the North American Championship. And then you fire him? Or I believe, no, maybe it was he beat Gargano and then lost it to Swerve, believe it or not. I think Isaiah Swerve Scott was the North American champion, believe it or not. I think that was what happened. And then they fired him. And then they fucking fired him. Why did they fire him? Because Bruce and Vince didn't want a big guy, a big, meaty, bony guy, a fat guy. Let's call a fucking spade a spade. Vince and Bruce had a thing against fat guys. Oh, this guy doesn't work for us. The fuck are we going to do with him? The fuck are we going to do with him, man? This guy doesn't fit our narrative. We don't want this fucking fat slob on television. What the fuck am I going to do with him? It's exactly what they thought. Said it then, I'll say it now. As soon as Vince disappeared, Bronson Reed came back. He waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and tonight was the moment. Tonight was his moment. And we're probably going to get Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed at Bash in Berlin. And you know what? I don't know what's going to happen at Bash in Berlin. I don't know what they got planned for Bronson Reed. I don't know what they got planned for Seth Rollins. But as far as I know, Seth Rollins is a made guy. Seth Rollins is partially bulletproof. He's going to be feuding with CM Punk. He's going to be feuding with Drew McIntyre. He's probably going to be feuding with Gunther at some point again for the World Heavyweight Championship. As far as I'm concerned, after what we saw tonight, and if this match takes place at Bash in Berlin, Bronson Reed needs to beat Seth Rollins in 4 weeks. I don't see how you do what you do tonight and then make a one-on-one match for these two guys in 4 weeks at the PLE and then you have him lose. What the fuck does that accomplish? What? What? At least give him Berlin. At least give him that. You want to roll this on into Bad Blood? Then roll it on into Bad Blood and have him beat Bronson Reed there. But you can't give Bronson Reed Bash in Berlin against Seth Rollins in 4 weeks and then have him fucking lose. You can't. You can't. Seth Rollins' spot is going nowhere. He's a made man who's got a top spot until the day he fucking retires. Triple H's priority, Seth Rollins' priority, is to build other top spots around the core group of guys so that when they're not there, in is someone like Bronson Reed. There you go. This was fucking great. Absolutely fucking great. And if the match is made for Berlin, we need to see another tsunami and Bronson Reed's hand raised in victory. As far as I'm concerned. Also, this is perfect. You want to keep Punk and Rollins away from each other as far as you can. I don't know where that match is taking place. I don't know where that one-on-one match is taking place. I don't even know if WWE can really hold out and wait till WrestleMania. Punk is already saying that his road to WrestleMania begins now. You know Punk wants the World Championship. That's not going to be the World Championship. Punk and Gunther is not going to be the World Championship match at WrestleMania. There's only two opponents for CM Punk at WrestleMania. One is Seth Rollins. The other one is Stone Cold Steve Austin, believe it or not. Austin was recently interviewed about WrestleMania being in Vegas. He said, word for word, it is very difficult for me to get out of this state. For WWE to call me up and for me to leave the state, I don't do it. But you know what? WrestleMania is in Las Vegas next year. He may be at WrestleMania next year. Can WWE wait? It's August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Can they wait 8 months to give me Punk and Rollins? It's a long fucking time. New Day. Tag team match against the Authors of Pain. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston versus Akam and Razor. Paul Ellering, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett are on the outside. This wasn't bad. New Day is always good. When they're serious, they are always good. So, AOP haven't done much of anything. They're there with Kross. They're decent muscle. They really haven't showcased themselves in a tag team environment yet. I'd like to see them do that because they were very good in NXT. We go to a quick commercial break. Kofi made a hot tag after the break. Xavier is in the match. Xavier ducked a charging Akam. Kofi leapt off the top rope towards Akam. He missed, and Akam inadvertently drove Kofi head first and neck first into the ringside barricade. Carrying across, he sees Xavier climbing the top rope. He gets involved. He knocks Xavier off the top. Rezar then picked up Xavier, and all of a sudden, Odyssey Jones ran out and distracted, or actually, he marched out with a New Day shirt. He threw Cross into the crowd. Xavier rolled up Rezar, who was distracted, and gets the 1, 2, 3. Odyssey fucking Jones, who got called up in the WWE draft 2 years ago and has not made one single main roster appearance yet until tonight. Odyssey Jones, if you guys don't know who Odyssey Jones is, he came up from this NXT 2.0. He was very much a 2.0er. Really nothing super spectacular about Odyssey Jones. He's big. He moves very well for a man his size. He's very charismatic. And he had a lot of Mark Henry qualities, like early Mark Henry, like babyface Mark Henry. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing either, because Mark Henry didn't turn into Mark Henry until the Hall of Pain. But he had a lot of really good qualities, but very green in the ring. They called this fucker up 2 years ago and did nothing with him. They just called him up and they just sat him there. Was he working dark matches? Was he working house shows? Who the fuck knows? He wasn't on TV, so I don't give a shit. He wasn't factoring into any creative. I don't give a shit. We see him for the first time in 2 years. He attacked AOP in the corner with splashes, back and forth, back and forth. He then pops Baltimore. One of the loudest pops of the entire night was for Odyssey Jones. This man picks up Akam and Rezar in a double sidewalk slam. This guy picked up both Akam and Rezar in a double sidewalk slam like he picked up a fucking piece of garbage. And sidewalk slam these guys down at the same time. Double sidewalk slam on Akam and Rezar. Crowd fucking jumped to their fucking feet. Popped. Crazy. Cross gets into the ring. Cross misses a clothesline. He eats an Odyssey Jones boss man slam. He slams Cross down. Kofi and Xavier celebrated with him. Michael Cole said New Day finally has some backup. Did we unofficially get Big E's replacement in the New Day? That's what I want to know. I won't be so sure of the New Day being a threesome here. Xavier Woods, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but I certainly picked up on it. Xavier Woods seemed to be jealous of Kofi Kingston's friendship with Odyssey Jones, which could see, believe it or not, Xavier Woods turn on Kofi and join Karrion Kross. Now, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know what good that would do for Kross or Xavier Woods, honestly. But the tease is there. And given the story and the dialogue that we've been hearing from Karrion Kross, it certainly looks like they're setting up for that. So backstage, after this was over, Kofi is backstage with Odyssey Jones, thanking Odyssey Jones. Jones says he was honored to be there for the New Day. So Xavier walks in and he says, "Well, what's going on here? You mean you didn't really introduce me? Like, what's going on here? I know who he is. Like, where'd he come from? You didn't fill me in on anything." And I love this because it ties the small details together. Odyssey Jones was from NXT, right? Obviously still training at the Performance Center. Kofi was just rehabbing, and he came back from an injury, and they all go to rehab down at the Performance Center. Kofi says he linked up with Odyssey Jones while he was injured down at the Performance Center, while he was rehabbing. Xavier says, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know you guys knew each other. I didn't know you guys were friends. He gave off vibes that he was feeling like he didn't have a controller to play with. No, I want to do this game with Odyssey. We'll get you in a couple games from now. He felt like the third wheel. He felt like he was left out. All of a sudden, Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine walked in, and everybody broke out into this weird dance. And that's the way the segment came to a close. But, I mean, the comedy shit is the comedy shit. I mean, it's just leave that shit at the door. But the focus is Odyssey Jones teaming with Kofi, but Xavier is jealous. Are we looking at an Xavier Woods turn on Kofi Kingston? Is Odyssey Jones the newest member of the New Day? Is he going to be the new Big E? Certainly he's got the charisma for it. Does Kofi Kingston have a new tag team partner? Could be. Whatever the case may be, man, I'll tell you this. They found the right role for Odyssey Jones. Whether it's him in the New Day alongside Xavier or him in the New Day teaming with Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston is a tag team wrestler. We've seen single Kofi. Him teaming with Odyssey Jones, A, would be great for Odyssey, and B, give Kofi a fresh coat of paint that is so desperately needed. But do I want to see Xavier Woods go heel? No. I don't want to see Xavier Woods go. I don't know what going heel would do for Xavier Woods. Like, who wants to boo Xavier Woods? Maybe Xavier wants it for himself. Maybe he wants to test the waters. I have no fucking clue. I just don't see how joining the Final Testament is going to benefit Xavier Woods. Yeah, Big O. Instead of Big E, we got Big O now. Big Odyssey. I think it's great. I think it's a fantastic creative move for Jones to be aligned with the New Day. Perfect spot for him. I love it. We got a vignette airing with JD McCafe saying his favorite part of SummerSlam was the look on Priest's face when he looked down at Balor after his loss. He said he sacrificed his body to keep Priest on top, yet he never wanted him in his cool kids group. He says he's a WWE champion now while Priest has nothing. He says he's going to make him suffer here tonight on Raw. Sure you are, McNuggets. Sure you are. I'll take a side of sweet and sour sauce with those McNuggets, clown. Austin Theory. This is where the show kind of takes a dip in quality. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller against R-Truth and The Miz. I did not need to see this on the show. Apparently, people were telling me that Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were traded to Monday Night Raw. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, we didn't really get any solid, concrete explanation as to why Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and Randy Orton basically said Triple H allowed him this match. So that's all we need there. But I don't know what SmackDown's going to get. The only thing we didn't get was what's SmackDown getting in return. Randy Orton showed up here. I think that's going to come at a pretty penny. They're going to get that for free. What is SmackDown getting for Raw using Randy Orton? What is SmackDown getting for Raw using Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, who are SmackDown guys, the former WWE Tag Team Champions? I guess we'll wait till Friday Night SmackDown because we didn't get any explanation as to what SmackDown's getting. I mean, this is more par for the course of what you would expect for R-Truth and The Miz, honestly. Miz was in control. Truth tagged himself in. Truth gave Waller a attitude adjustment, but accidentally knocked Miz out of the ring in the process. Waller wasn't legal. Theory hit Truth with his A-Town down finish for the 1-2-3. I legit thought The Miz was going to turn on R-Truth. I still think that's coming. There's no reason for these two to be together anymore. The only reason why these two were together was because R-Truth needed a WrestleMania moment, They did it. It worked. It was great. Everybody was happy. It was a feel-good moment. And then their title reign was fucking garbage. And now this act has way overstayed its welcome. I thought The Miz was going to turn on him tonight. I mean, he shook his hand. He hugged him. It was just a little bit too pronounced. Too much affection from The Miz. Too much hugging from The Miz on R-Truth for losing. I thought he was going to turn. I would turn them immediately. Get Miz back to being heel Miz, which I don't really give a shit about that either. And R-Truth, I mean, everybody still loves R-Truth, I guess. But them as a tag team, done. Kathy Kelly. She interviewed Braun Breaker. Kathy Kelly asked Braun Breaker how it feels to be the Intercontinental Champion. I tell you what, man, that belt, that title looks great over his shoulder. It really does. It looks like a great champion. He's going to be a great champion. She asks if he's ready for the inevitable onslaught of challengers coming for him and the title. Breaker said everyone likes to talk about how many days they've held a title, but it's been less than 3 years since he debuted on WWE TV. And now he's the Intercontinental Champion. He says he doesn't have a target on his back because he is the hunter. He says he feels sorry for the poor idiots who think they have what it takes to beat him. He says he wasn't born to be champion, but rather that championship was born to be on him. He says his name is bolted onto the belt, and he showed everybody the nameplate on the IC title. It says Braun Breaker. My name is bolted onto this belt, and there isn't a man on the planet tough enough to take this nameplate off of this title. We'll see what happens, but I'm expecting Dragunov to step up and challenge Braun Breaker going into Bash at Berlin. They already announced Sami Zayn's getting a rematch in Austin, Texas next Monday for the Intercontinental Championship. So Sami Zayn is vying for the title once again. Damian Priest. This was a great promo, by the way. Braun Breaker's great. Speaking of great promos, there was a vignette promo airing with Damian Priest saying he never wanted JD McChicken. It's tough to come up with McDonald's menu references for this fucking JD clown. JD McGriddle. He never wanted him in the Judgment Day. Says he thought Balor was his brother. He said McDonagh is too stupid to realize he's already been betrayed. Balor was the only one who wanted him in the Judgment Day. He said Balor sent him to the ring to take the first bullet for him. Tonight, I'm sending your big-headed ass straight to hell. Damian Priest goes one-on-one with JD McCaffey. Very good match. You know, listen, man, we make fun of JD McDonagh. JD McDonagh is a great fucking wrestler. He may not be the biggest guy. He may not be the best-looking guy. He may be a mid-card for life. He's not going to be a world champion. He doesn't look like a world champion. But that doesn't mean he's not a great fucking wrestler. He is fucking great. Crowd chanted, JD sucks. JD sucks. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the internet wrestling community that utter the same thing. You can kiss my fucking asshole. Still here and not going anywhere, bitch. Priest comes out. He gets a nice babyface reaction. Dominated early. Priest, you know, I am slowly believing in Damian Priest getting a big babyface reaction eventually. It's still kind of new to people. But I think with the work that they put in with this Judgment Day story, I think Priest is going to fucking kill it. I really do. I think he'll be fine. Him alongside Rhea Ripley and him battling Finn Balor and all the heat that the Judgment Day is getting, I think it's going to be fine for Damian Priest. McDonagh, he did a lot in this match, man. He got a lot of offense in this match. Carlito was out there with McDonagh. Priest was a little too preoccupied with Carlito on the outside. McDonagh shoved him into the ring post, hits a suicide dive. McDonagh hits a moonsault following a commercial break. Crowd chanted, JD sucks. JD sucks. Priest hit a flatliner and starts selling, or no selling, I should say, JD McDonagh's knife-edge chops. Priest hits an elbow strike, vicious shots. I mean, they were fucking loud. The chops were loud. The forearm shots were loud. McDonagh rolled outside, so Priest shoved him over the announce desk before rolling him back into the ring. Priest hits a clothesline before kicking Carlito off the apron, who tried to get into the match and get involved. Priest set up for a chokeslam. Balor attacked him from behind for the disqualification. So this match ended in a DQ. They were not going to beat one half of the tag team champions. Good on them. Balor shows up, and he ruins the match for Damian Priest. And that's exactly what he said he was going to do. Let his guard down, and when that happens, I will be right there to put the boots to you. Priest sat up. He saw Balor. All of the Judgment Day were out there now. Liv Morgan's out there. Dominic is out there. Priest fought them all off, and they swarmed Priest. A big 5-on-1 attack. Priest fought them all off. He eventually got his hands on Balor. Priest set up for Razor's Edge because he blasted through Dominic and McDonagh and Carlito. He gets his hands on Balor. He gets him up in the Razor's Edge, and Liv Morgan yanked Balor down. He rolls out of the ring, and Liv Morgan knows that Priest is not going to punch her, so she stands there and she smiles at him. Priest got in Morgan's face. Dominic comes from behind, then gives Priest the chop block. They attack Priest again. Out comes Rhea Ripley. Huge pop for Rhea Ripley. Dominic and Morgan tried to run away, but Ripley caught Liv Morgan. She tried to escape with Dom. She did not. She was unsuccessful. Liv throws her into the ring post repeatedly and then set up for the Razor's Edge on the table. But Dominic comes back and saves Liv Morgan and pulls her to safety as Rhea Ripley had her up in the Razor's Edge. Dominic pulls her legs down and pulls her to safety, and they run away. This left McDonagh in the ring. He's like an idiot, attacking, again, still attacking Priest. He's in the ring just throwing punches at Priest. Rhea Ripley gets into the ring. He turns around. He's not going to do shit to Rhea Ripley. She headbutts him in the chest. He turns around and eats one of the most nastiest Priest chokeslams I've ever seen. I said, listen, man, I said McDonagh's a great wrestler. You know what he also does better than anybody? He sells his fucking balls off. He made that chokeslam look like it was The Undertaker's chokeslam times 1,000. He sold the shit out of it. So good as McDonagh. Ripley headbutted him. Priest gave him a massive chokeslam. Priest and Ripley hugged. Crowd was super hot for this. The Terror Twins. Priest and Ripley. Where do we go from here? Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan is not taking place at Bash in Berlin. Damian Priest and Finn Balor is not taking place at Bash in Berlin. I would not be shocked if they hold off on Priest and Balor until Bad Blood. But what we will get in the interim is a perfect bridge between SummerSlam and Bad Blood. Bash in Berlin, you will see a mixed tag team match between Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio against Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Dominic and Liv Morgan versus Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Mixed tag team match at Bash in Berlin. It is the perfect bridge between SummerSlam and Bad Blood. Then at Bad Blood, you'll get your Damian Priest and Finn Balor match, and you'll get Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's World Championship. And that's where Rhea Ripley will get her championship back. That is where it will happen. Can't do it yet, so we got all of August and all of September, man. 2 months of story is more than enough time for Liv to be running around with Dom. More than enough time to tell this story for Rhea Ripley to get her championship back. That's exactly what they're going to do. And that mixed tag team match, man, that shit's going to fucking... That'll be great. I love it. So, Bastion Berlin's looking like a fucking banger already, man. Just on Monday Night Raw's side. Look at what we got. Randy Orton versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Possibly looking at Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov for the Intercontinental title. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest versus Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. And then CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. And you can't forget Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. What's happening on SmackDown? I guess we'll find out on Friday night. But if I was to make a logical guess, I would say Cody Rhodes teams with Roman Reigns against Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. LA Knight, I don't know what he does with the United States Championship. Maybe we get a rematch against Logan Paul. Maybe. Logan Paul says he's suing LA Knight for what? I have no fucking clue, but we may be looking at a 7-match Bash in Berlin show. I mean, there's a ton of matches that... This is a good problem to have. WWE's got a lot of shit that they could play out in Berlin. Will they do that, though? I don't know. But this Judgment Day shit, absolutely leading to a mixed tag team match, and then we will see Judgment Day, old Judgment Day versus new Judgment Day at Bad Blood. Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. They attacked Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane backstage. They targeted Dakota Kai's knee, told her to stay out of their business. After the break, Deville comes down to the ring because she was supposed to wrestle Dakota Kai. She couldn't wrestle Dakota Kai because they injured Dakota Kai in the back. Io Sky enters the match instead, and she takes Dakota Kai's place. This was a lot better than the Lyra match that we got earlier, which only went 3 minutes. But we got Sonya Deville and Io Sky. Io carried this match big time, man. Sonya has not gotten it together since coming back. Not very good from Sonya Deville. So, Sky kicked her leg and hit a missile drop kick for a 2 count. There was a small collection of fans that started to chant, "This is boring, this is boring." I don't blame them. This entire group has absolutely no emotion whatsoever. Deville comes back with a knee strike on Io. Io comes back with a double knee strike in the corner, but Zoe put Deville's foot on the ropes as Io went for a pin. This led to Io wiping out Sky and Baszler with a moonsault to the outside. Kairi Sane goes up top and nailed Zoe Stark with an insane elbow to the outside, which looked great. Io gets back into the ring and she hits over the moonsault on Sonya for the 1, 2, 3. That was it. Io beat Sonya. Great. Does anybody still care? Weeks later, man. Weeks later, do you fucking care? No. And the sad thing is, I have a feeling this is all going to factor into the Women's War Games match at Survivor Series. I pray to God not. Just no emotion from this fucking feud, man. This whole group with Sonya and Shayna and Zoe, there's no emotion there. It's like a fucking... It sucks the life out of the show. Not saying all 3 hours of Monday Night Raw's got to be fucking top-notch, picture perfect. But I mean, holy shit, man. Is there anybody that legitimately cares about it? Everybody loves Io. But does anybody care about this group? No. They do not. Ilya Dragunov. He's backstage with Sami Zayn. He reminded Sami Zayn that he was a champion who inspired others. He's also a champion that beat Gunther and ended his 666-day title reign. So I don't really know why Sami is so down on himself, man. Sami's a beast. He's a winner. He may have lost to Braun Breaker at SummerSlam in 5 minutes, but Sami Zayn, in the eyes of the fans, is a winner. Jey Uso comes up, and he says he knows how to pick himself back up, dust himself off, and get back out there and win. Yeet. Sami said this is a tough one to come back from. Jey says he's going to get a rematch. Sami smiled and said, "Yeah, I already talked to Adam Pearce. I'm getting a rematch next week in Austin, Texas against Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship." I like it. I think a lot of people were disappointed from SummerSlam and the fact that we only got Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn only going 5 minutes. I expected them to go at least 15. But I guess we'll get our 15 on Monday night next week. Jay said he and Sami, after Sami wins the Intercontinental title, pokes him in the chest. He says, you know what? You're going to become a double champion. Because after that, we're going to go after the Judgment Day, and we're going to win those tag team titles. Sounds like a good idea to me. Oos. And then after that, they're going to go yeet.
Yeet. No yeet. Yeet. No yeet.
Jesse, you know, it's bad enough I got fucking birds flying around in the vent. Now you're letting underage children in the bar, bro. This is an 18 plus, 21 plus establishment. I don't understand. What the fuck? Who's checking IDs at the goddamn door, bro? Seriously. Fucking ridiculous, man. 21 and over. No children in the venue. Leave the fucking kids alone, okay? Ridiculous. A vignette aired on Joe Gacy, who portrays Huskus the Pig in the Wyatt Sicks. Bo Dallas, narrating this, says they locked him away and they thought that they could control him. But he opened his heart to the man in the woods. And now they'll make them all pay for their sins. Not really a lot to this. These vignettes have gotten a lot more low effort. You know, I actually want to hear Loomis and Gacy speak. Why? Why are you in the Wyatt Sicks? Why have you joined this group? Gable and the Creeds. They were walking through the backstage area, walking through Gorilla. Gable says he has a new family and a new name for a new family. And he's sending the freak show Wyatts back to whatever swamp they crawled out of. He says his new family is now known as American Made. I wonder if they will go on and endorse Hulk Hogan's Real American Lager as well. They need a nice cold beverage to go along with that new name, American Made. I like it. I don't like the new theme that they have, but I like it. I like the Alpha Academy theme. Maybe I'll get used to this one. Maybe. Chad Gable and the Creeds in the main event against the Wyatt Sicks. Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, and Eric Rowan. Uncle Howdy was out there. Abby the Witch, who is Nikki Cross. They don't refer to her as Nikki Cross, by the way. Michael Cole referenced her as only Abby the Witch. Are we not supposed to know this is Nikki Cross? Uncle Howdy, they all made their entrance, all slowly, methodically walking down the aisle. They had Shatter, Bray Wyatt's theme, play. I was wondering if they were just going to send them to the ring with that one fucking piano note. Thank God they didn't. They adopted The Fiend's theme song, which is great. Fits them very well. I'm glad that they're paying homage in that way as well. So I'm sure the Wyatt fanatics out there are going to absolutely adore that creative decision. So they're all out there. We got Bo Dallas, who's dressed in the Uncle Howdy getup. He's sitting in the aisleway on Bray's rocking chair, which, again, is a nice throwback. Nikki Cross is out there sitting along with Uncle Howdy. Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, and Joe Gacy are the three Wyatt members in this match. There was a quick brawl that led to Gable and the Creeds being sent from the ring. Crowd immediately chanted, "This is awesome, this is awesome," after the lights got turned on. And we saw the actual Wyatt Sicks unmasked as humans in the ring. Rowan, Gacy, and Loomis wrestled without their masks. No masks. Lights were on. They're not wrestling in any red lighting. There's no fucking fog or smoke. There's no magic tricks. There's no beams falling from the fucking rafters. There's no fire. There's no people coming up from underneath the ring. There's no demons. There's no dead bodies. It's actually a wrestling match, believe it or not. So Wyatts are in control. Early on in the match, they're in control. They powerbombed Loomis out of the ring onto all three of the new American-made members. Gable, Brutus, and Julius. Gable had control over Gacy after a commercial break. And the crowd chanted, "We want Rowan. We want Rowan." I wasn't sure what they were chanting. Sounded very close to "We want Roman, we want Roman." I thought they were chanting "We want Otis. We want Rowan." American made. They're in control. They took turns hitting him with moonsault variations. Loomis broke up a cover very quickly. Gacy came back with a double clothesline. Rowan made a hot tag. He ran wild and dunked Gable onto the barricade. Rowan paid tribute to Brody Lee with a slingshot senton. That looked great. Rowan followed with a power slam. Creeds broke up the cover. Loomis wiped them all out with a big dive. Gable gave Rowan a German suplex, which, I mean, Rowan is not a small guy. So for Gable to do that, it looked fucking great. Gacy and Loomis each hit Julius and Brutus with Uranages on the announce table on the outside. They got taken out. This left Chad Gable all by himself. Gacy powerbombed Loomis onto Gable. Loomis followed, coming off the top rope with a huge frog splash. And the Wyatt Sicks get the 1, 2, 3 over Chad Gable, over American Made, and they win their first ever match on Monday Night Raw as the Wyatt Sicks. They posed around the lantern, and Uncle Howdy joins them. Sister Abigail, apparently, we're not supposed to call her Nikki Cross. She joins. Uncle Howdy gets on his knees. He puts his arms out like Bray would do. And Michael Cole said, Monday Night Raw and the WWE will never be the same again. Sure it won't. This was good. I wouldn't say this was, oh my God, I'm blown away by the great performance of the Wyatt Sicks. You know what they reminded me of? They reminded me of Sanity. It's exactly what they reminded me of. But they look better, they sound better, they have a better presentation. It's exactly what they reminded me of. Loomis looks like he could fit right into what Sanity was on SmackDown. Same thing with Joe Gacy. It's exactly what they look like. They look like fucking thugs out of Cyberpunk. It's exactly what they look like. Obviously, you got the whole Wyatt lore. And I'm glad that they're back. I'm glad that they're together. I'm glad that they found some spots on TV for everybody. I don't know where it's going to go. But they needed to tie everything in as far as an in-ring aspect. I think they did that. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever. But I'm glad that the presentation, we now know what the presentation is going to be. There's not going to be any smoke and mirrors. There's not going to be any fucking magic or smoke or fog or... They're not wrestling in red lighting. They're not wrestling in the masks. No, she's Abby the Witch. I keep saying Sister Abigail. Whatever. Abby the Witch, Sister Abigail. It's all the same fucking shit. They're not wrestling in the masks. They're fine for what... It was fine for what it was. They were fine for what they did tonight. But Gabe, listen. You know, I would feel more bad for American Made... Their first legit night as a new group with new music and matching ring attire, and they've already been beaten. Which I guess everybody kind of expected that, though. So it's like, why is anybody surprised? But this gives WWE 2 more tag teams. WWE right now has Chad Gable leading the Creeds, and now we got the Wyatts. Any variation of the Wyatts will do. I thought Dexter Loomis looked fucking great tonight. I was a big Dexter Loomis guy before the Wyatts. Any variation of that would work. Rowan and Loomis, Rowan and Gacy, Loomis and Gacy, Loomis and Rowan. I mean, it's not that difficult for them to do the Freebird rule either. If that's what they wanted to do, leaving Uncle Howdy to do his singles work. On top of the rumors that WWE has already signed the Motor City Machine Guns, and they're on the verge of signing the Lucha Brothers, Penta and Rey Fenix, on their way to WWE, which I will be talking about twice tomorrow in an extra and with Silent Monster on TNT. WWE looks to be revamping their tag team division. I thought it worked. Whatever they did tonight, I thought worked. It wasn't like, oh my God, blow away, greatest thing ever, but they nailed the presentation. We got them the way we needed to get them, and they did it. Simple. And it was a special moment. 11 years, Baltimore. 11 years ago, the Wyatts debuted. And 11 years later, in Baltimore, the Wyatt Sicks makes their in-ring debut. It was more about coming full circle than anything. The match was just the match. It was more about having that full circle moment. Finally complete them. Monday Night Raw tonight was the best television that WWE has produced in the Paul Levesque era. I'm talking specifically about Raw and SmackDown. This show continues to show why it will be and is already established as the A show, with SmackDown moving to the USA Network in the beginning of September and Monday Night Raw moving to Netflix in January. The pieces are aligning. You see what they're doing with Raw. They are getting you ready for Netflix. That's why Raw is so good right now. They're getting you ready for that Netflix night one. They want you to know before you even sit down and turn on the app. Monday Night Raw is the A show, and it will be the A show 5 billion times the A show. This was the best piece of business that Paul Levesque stamped his name to in the Paul Levesque era for Monday Night or Friday Night SmackDown. This was a tremendous show tonight. And Bash in Berlin is already looking like a fucking banger. And I can only imagine what Bad Blood's going to bring, because we've been talking about it for weeks. Punk and McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell, celebrating the 25-year anniversary of Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker inside the first Hell in a Cell. Monday Night Raw, Triple H, WWE, they've been mostly firing on all cylinders. There's been several weeks where it's been just fucking boring. Mostly on Friday night. But Monday Night Raw hasn't escaped some of those boring shows. Tonight, man, tonight was a fucking banger. Tonight was a banger. And Baltimore was fucking great. Next week, they're in Austin, Texas. And Bash in Berlin build continues going into Berlin at the end of the month. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. Appreciate you very much for hanging out with me tonight. We had upwards towards 3,600 in here on a Monday night for the Monday Night Raw post right here on OTS. You guys are awesome. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. 1,500 likes before we get on out of here tonight is the goal. Get those super chats in. The longer you guys want me here, it's up to you. It's up to you guys, man. You control the fate of the show. If you guys want me to get out of here early, again, it's in your hands. If you want me to stay all night, super chats are open. It's up to you. Go check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it. Anything you missed last week, tonight begins a brand new week of content. Tomorrow night, I'll be live. Episode 60. Nice round number. Episode 60 with the Silent Monster right here on Tuesday Night Titans. Got a lot to talk about. We'll discuss the biggest happenings coming out of SummerSlam. We'll discuss the biggest happenings and debate Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about the Lucha Brothers signing with WWE. We'll talk about MJF and Britt Baker getting suspended. Shane McMahon coming on into AEW. Got a lot to talk about. And tonight's show sponsored by Blue Chew. All rise, says Damian Priest. You guys want to be the Damian Priest of the bedroom, men? Blue Chew is going to let you say the words, all rise. Tonight's episode sponsored by Blue Chew. If you want to be as hard as the summer day is long, get yourself Blue Chew and bring that summer heat to the bedroom. Blue Chew is a unique online service that provides the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets. And they come at a fraction of the cost. Process is very simple. You're going to sign up at BlueChew.com. You're going to consult with one of their online licensed medical providers. And once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. No questions asked. And the best part of it, it's all done online. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. No awkward conversations. No doctor's office visits. They are prepared and shipped directly to you in a very discreet package. So if you guys want to benefit from that extra confidence when it matters most, I don't know why you wouldn't give Blue Chew a try. All my listeners tonight, get a free sample. All you got to do is sign up at BlueChew.com. Sign up. Use that promo code JD at checkout. And you're going to get your first month free on me. All you have to do is take care of that $5 in shipping and handling. Once again, I want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring tonight's show right here on Off the Script. Baseball is fucking stupid, says Jesse. On most nights, I agree with you. Beyond the Script with the $4.99. Just lost one of my cats. Know the feeling, guy. Purposely ran her over. She had kittens in her too. So listen, bro, I can't even think about that now, bro. Can't even think about that now, man. That guy deserves to fucking be run over himself. He deserves the same fate as the fucking feline that he ran over. Joshua with a new membership. Joshua, thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. I gotta ask you, Joshua, what the fuck are you drinking, bro? Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Drew Punk in Berlin. Punk will win since Seth won't be a distraction. Drew and Punk Hell in a Cell of Bad Blood, which is the rumored main event. I love this feud. Yes, yes, and yes. Listen, Jesse, it's not too early to become a Cubs fan, bro. I mean, what are the White Sox? What are they, like 21 losses in a row? Is that even normal? How does that happen? How do you lose 20 games in a row? I thought the Braves were bad. LC Killer with a $2 super chat. Bray Wyatt would be proud. Absolutely. Hiru with a $2 super chat. Shout out to Baltimore. They were fantastic tonight. Salute to Baltimore. Three Kings with a 24 months. Finally got my golden microphone. Thank you for the endless amount of great shows you give us, JD. Here's to another 24 months. Also, rest in peace to Seth Rollins. Thank you for being here, man. Look forward to you being here for another 24 months. Listen, bro, you're talking to the guy who has a baseball team on his cap that can't win a fucking baseball game, man. They're 1.5 games in the wild card lead. Don't complain to me about fucking terrible baseball teams. I've been watching a terrible baseball team play sub-500 baseball for 3 months now. It happens. Tribal Chief with the $2 super chat. Raw was good. Wyatt Sicks is badass. Bray is smiling. Yes, he is. Thomas Malloy with a $1.99. What an episode. Felt like a banger black and gold episode. Yeah. Man, oh man, those you remember those shows back in the day where I said Triple H should be leading the main roster shows because of the way he used to book black and gold? Man, I don't see people complaining now, man. Right? Senile. Thank you, brother. Before I forget, I don't know if they're watching. I promised them I would shout them out. Good thing I remembered, because I have a terrible fucking memory, man. As soon as I get into this show late, I got a terrible memory, man. And being that we got a great show tonight, I wanted to focus primarily on the show, but I got a nice message from two fans of mine. This comes from Lorley Gomez. I want to read you what she wrote to me on Twitter in the DMs. Hi, JD. So my husband, Aaron, is a big fan of yours. He loves to watch and support your YouTube channel. We live in Asia, but we're both from New York. He's always like, my guy from New York said the same thing I did, LOL. Huge wrestling fan, and by default, so am I. I was looking for the link to send a support for a shout out, but I'll be honest, I have no idea how to find it. Would it be possible to give a shout out to him? I would be happy to send you a contribution. His name is Aaron, and I am his fiance, Lori. So to Aaron and Lori, I hope you're watching, and here's your shout out. Thank you for all the support. Hopefully you guys are well and safe in Asia. I know no matter where you are in the world, man, there seems to be some fucked up shit happening. It ain't no better in New York, I'll tell you that. But shout out to both of you guys, and I appreciate the support, man. And it's nice to see OTS worldwide, even though you guys are still from New York. So appreciate you guys very much, and I hope you enjoyed Monday Night Raw, because tonight was a banger show. We got some great fans, don't we, guys? We got some great fucking fans, don't we? See now, thank you, brother. Zeno0 with a $10 super chat. Raw cooked tonight. Roman is finally a top face after all these years. You just know Vince is an old man punching the air right now. Keep up the good work, JD. Been watching you since January. I'm enjoying it here. Zeno, I don't know. Listen, brother, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're here, brother. Thank you so very much. But I gotta add, where else would you be? I mean, you could be over at fucking Wokeful, right? And what are they doing over there, man? They're in and out in like 45 minutes. They got no entertainment value whatsoever over there. And then you got fucking Shilcito, who is getting less and less views as the weeks go by, man, because, to be brutally honest, nobody gives a fuck about what she has to say. Zeno with a $5 super chat. Yo, JD, would I be mistaken if I said Kairi Sane is the cleanest elbow drop in wrestling? The way she tilts midair is so fucking cool. What about you? Yeah, I think so. I would say so. You're spot on, Zeno. Blanca with a $4.99. Cheers to a great Raw. Ready for SmackDown to pick up the pace with Roman's return. I mean, go watch Shilcito's channel over the last month, man. I mean, if you want to hear her talk about wrestling, I mean, she's got 166,000 subscribers, right? And she's reviewing old SummerSlams to 900 views. Man, oh man, people really give a shit about what you got to say about fucking SummerSlam 1997, right? Which is one of the greatest SummerSlams of all time. Man, I think my SummerSlam review fucking... I mean, she could go review SummerSlam till 2057, and my SummerSlam review on Saturday night will have accomplished more views than all the SummerSlams in history that she would review. Triple M, I'm in a mood tonight. Triple M with a $10 super chat. WWE's hot right now. Love to see it. Reset tomorrow. Exotic class item farm will be better for you console players. Another week of Salvation's Edge for me. Yay. Hope you have a good week, brother. Thank you, man. I don't know what the Nightfall is. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. I do want that. I want that rocket launcher from the Solstice games. It's dropping with Reconstruction and Bait and Switch. It's a Strand rocket launcher. So I'm looking forward to that. Even though I hate the Solstice games, I never play them. I think they're boring. Let's not punch down, JD. Listen, Treehouse, I got to punch down at some point, man. It's nice to punch down every now and then. You know, if they make it a solo experience, I would absolutely do it. Bastard with the 16 months. JD, you're the motherfucking GOAT, plain and simple. Also, Gunther looks like $1 million as champ. He still can't believe Vince wanted to send him back down to NXT. Brother, Vince was going to fire him. If Vince remained in charge, bro, Gunther would be Walter in AEW. Facts. Andre Benson with a $5 super chat. Andre, thank you for being here, brother. I just lost your super chat. There you are. I can't be the only one that kept cheering Reed to keep giving Seth those barrage of tsunamis. Probably the best Raw of the year. OTS for life. Yeah, Baltimore wanted one more time. So you and the rest of the 11,000 plus that were in Baltimore tonight. Metalhead Forever with 31 months. He says, you are the GOAT. Thank you, Metalhead. They're buffing class item drop rate from overthrow chests. All right. I don't mind doing a good overthrow. Joker's Voice with a $5 super chat. Hell, JD and the OTS family. What a show. Wyatt Sicks in-ring debut. Shatter uses the theme. Brace somewhere is smiling. OTS is simply the best. Thank you, Joker. Levi Snyder with $20 in super chat. JD, you're the fucking best, brother. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. The main event and the way it went off without a hitch was so awesome. I'm not going to lie. I teared up a little bit after it went off the air. Yeah, it looks like they got their time perfectly right tonight, man. Adam JD 519 with 5 months. I raise my gentleman Jack and Coke to you, JD, as we enjoy the stories Triple H is cooking up. Thanks for all you do. Happy to be here. OTS for life. My favorite Jack is a gentleman Jack. Thank you, Adam. Jerry Ramey with a $10 super chat. When Bo walked out to Shatter, Bo was looking up, then side to side. Bo's eyes were shining a bit. Definite tears. Taylor could feel Wyndham's presence. I'm sure all of that happened. He's doing a great job. Wyndham is missed, but man, he wherever he is, man, he is fucking proud of his brother, man. I'll tell you that. He's doing a great job. James with a 31 months. Thank you, brother. When the music for Shatter came on, I was excited, I was happy, I was sad, and I had tears. Rest in peace, Bray and Brody. I know they are looking down tonight. Yes, they are. Hollywood Eric with 16 months. 16-month anniversary, raising the one for the tribal chief. JD, I acknowledge you. Congrats on Saturday stream. You truly bring the ratings. Fuck the hate. Thank you, Hollywood Eric. Hidden Network. Bronson Reed set the tone tonight. Good God, what a show. Delwyn Jones with $50 super chat. Good day, JD. Raw tonight is always like I'm currently enjoying San Miguel beer. Simply incredible and worth watching from start to finish. Can't wait for SmackDown, and we'll deliver this Friday. However, they need to be extending their show to 3 hours like Raw. Tonight was peak. No 3-hour SmackDowns. They do not have the roster or the manpower to make a 3-hour SmackDown. Lauren with a $2 super chat. This Raw was awesome. New storylines and feuds. Nathan Rush with a 5. I'd have Gunther hold the title to next SummerSlam and have Cena beat him for 17 and then have Braun Breaker beat Cena to win the World Heavyweight Championship. No. Cena doesn't need to win 17, and I don't think Cena wants to win 17. And he's certainly not beating Gunther. M. James with a 5. If WWE wants to get bold, a first blood match between Priest and Balor would be gold. They've seemingly gotten more open to showing blood on TV, so why not? First blood at Bad Blood? I kind of like it. Lauren with 4 in Super Chat. Gunther and Orton is a match for the ages. Priest and Rhea are going to be great as babyfaces. Billy with 24 months. What's up, JD and the OTS family? Member now for 2 years. Yeah! Always remember, Blue Chew is the cure for long-term booking. Billy is correct. Glenn Links with a 199. The Ministry of Studness. Also, with a 499, Meechin came up with the name The Stud Line for Stark, DeVille, and Baszler. Bullet Bourbon is my DOTN. OTS for life. Hey, Bullet's good. I like the Bullet Bourbon instead of the Bullet Rye. I got both downstairs at the bar. Julia's Charisma with a 24 months. Happy to be a part of the OTS family for 2 years now. You and Salamanca are killing it every Tuesday. Prayers to you for Bacardi. Thank you, Julia's Charisma. I can't wait to see Julia on NXT TV, man. Should be great. Boy, is she a looker, huh? Fixes a bind with a $5 super chat. Later tonight, Bronson will have a bucket of KFC fried chicken with a side of mashed Rollins. Gravy on the side. Is KFC even considered food? I haven't had KFC in probably 20 years. Cake with a $2 super chat. Thoughts on the chant? Can't imagine you were happy. JD sucks. I'm just glad that when you hear something like that, how many people in the community thought of me? A lot of people. Mason the Legend with a $4.99. Awesome Raw tonight. I loved it. Yes, it was a great show. Probably the best Raw all year. Ricardo Little with a $5 super chat. JD, please say it ain't so. I don't want to see Roman Reigns teaming with Cody ever. I don't know what we would do with him, bro. What's Cody doing at Bash in Berlin? Savoy with a $4.99. JD, if you think WWE should make the Great American Bash an annual PLE in Baltimore like the old WCW days, please share this message. Love the show. Great American Bash is an NXT IP now, brother. The Omnis Throne with a 6 months. Monday Night Raw tonight really gave me black and gold feels. Rest in peace to Rollins. I'm so happy Bronson Reed is finally getting his moment. Furious Nation with a $4.99. After reading about the Lucha Brothers during Raw tonight, I think there may be a good chance they jump to WWE like the Motor City Machine Gun. Thoughts? I think they will, and I think they should, to be quite honest with you. I think that would be best for business. Tony Khan, you know, how special can the Lucha Brothers be if Tony Khan brings in fucking rental luchas every fucking week? How special is Rey Fenix if he's got hologram fucking flipping and diving and jumping all over the place like a fucking psychopath on Saturday nights? Can't be that special anymore, huh? Also, with Waller and Theory on Raw tonight, do you think this might lead to a trade with Jay and Sami being sent to SmackDown for Waller and Theory? I don't know why people brought this up today. Where did this narrative come from? Why has it got to be Jay and Sami? Because they got to be a part of the bloodline? We'll see. They got to get somebody on Friday. Demeter Bullion, Doctor, give me some love with a $7.99. Sing this tune. Oh, hey, my baby. Oh, Mo from Springfield. Oh, say yo to my bro. Oh, if I were Mo, I'd be bro. Demeter, you crazy son of a bitch. I have no fucking idea what you want me to sing, bro. What is that? Simpsons? What is that? Bradley Robinette with a 199. I was at Raw. It was such an amazing show. I'm glad you enjoyed it, brother. It was a great one. Came off very well on TV. Triple M with a $5 super chat. Also, tomorrow is first Dual Destiny a week. We'll give 2 class items. Definitely worth doing it once a week. If you ever down, let me know. I guess we're going to have to do it, brother. I'm still, though I am very happy with my Falcons and Galanor one. I don't know what else do I need. What do I need? What do I actually... I don't even know what the fuck I need. RNB Soul Bro with a $4.99. Shout outs to Odyssey Jones for the old school Mr. Hughes Bossman Sidewalk Slam. Absolutely. And Modern Day Role Model with a $9.99. JD, I've been working out upstate, barely getting to see my fiance and now my 3-month-old. Some days all thing that gets me through is your channel. Thank you for everything. OTS for life. Listen, brother. Listen. You're providing for your family. I'm providing for you. And when you get back to your family, it's going to be great, man. I'm happy to keep you entertained while you are doing your thing, brother. I will always be here no matter what. I appreciate you very much. Renewal and... Oh, yeah, I don't have any of that. Caliban Liars? Yeah, I don't have any of that. Sarachne? Yeah, I don't have that. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for all your support. Appreciate you guys very much. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. SummerSlam post-show is live. Happened on Saturday. Everything else you missed is there. Go get your Tuesday Night Titan t-shirts. Link is down below. And join me and Solid Monster tomorrow night for episode 60 of Tuesday Night Titan, the best duo podcast in the entire space. Nobody, and I mean nobody, does it better. Until then, guys, thank you very much. Continue to hit that thumbs up. Strive for 2,000 likes right here on Monday Night Raw. I know we'll get it. And I will see you guys right back here live tomorrow night, right here with the Solid Monster on Tuesday Night Titans. I'll see you guys later.